I'm Jessica Johnson Cope.
And I'm Waleed Cope. This is Commerce and Chill.
And welcome back to the latest episode of Commerce and Chill. You've heard of Netflix and Chill, right? You get your Netflix account on with your boo and you watch fun stuff while you do fun things.
I'm scared of where this is going, but go ahead.
But here at Commerce and Chill, we do work things with our boo.
Yeah.
Do fun things and make fun money.
Yeah, you could, I don't know, save some money with Netflix if, wait, do you have a Netflix account?
I have your Netflix account. It's our Netflix account. What they call that? Community property.
Oh, that's like back to that Eddie Murphy thing. Eddie, I want half. So you get half of my Netflix account. But I think we should, how much is that thing? Like $8.99? Like we could save some money. You know what we should do? We should turn it off or hook up with one of our friends who got Netflix and share the password.
Get your friends, get with my friends, and we can all be friends and watch Netflix and chill.
We just can't watch.
We're not listening or watching Commerce and Chill.
We just can't be on the same time.
Of business, life, love, and things.
Yeah, all those things in life.
Yes. So it's good.
I don't know. Life is like, I don't know. We're on this whole kick today talking about, it's been kicked around the office. Like when assignments are put out there for people to step up and accept the assignment, kind of like volunteering, versus people being voluntold. So it was something came up the other day. I can't remember who was talking about what. And it was like, so are you telling me to do this? Being that no one else has done it, something like that. So I guess today we're talking about volunteering at work versus being voluntold.
Well, let's tell the story. Let's tell the whole story to shame the truth and tell the truth and shame the devil. A few days ago, I was talking about something that happened at the sorority meeting. And sororities are
I know whose name is going to come up now.
At least in my sorority meetings, they're infamous for more senior members of the organization to tell you what to do. And instead of like them asking you to do it, they sign you up and they're just like, hey. So
basically you got voluntold.
You get voluntold. So I was in the office and explaining to somebody how I get voluntold to do stuff all the time as in a sorority. And he was like, voluntold, right, Hamlet? He's like, I never heard that before. I was like, no, voluntold is for real. It's not something I made up. And he Googled it, and sure enough, voluntold is in the Urban Dictionary. So
is it in Webster's?
It's in the Urban Dictionary.
So wait, which carries more cred?
The Urban Dictionary. I'm from the South Bronx. You're from Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn. Don't get more urban than that.
Do or die.
Don't get more urban than that.
Bed-Stuy, do or die.
South Bronx. So the Urban Dictionary,
before houses were $1 million,
defines voluntold as forcibly volunteered, a task that was once voluntary has not been ordered to you. That's what it says.
What does it use for the example there? I think that's the best part. This is the best part. So it says, wait, forcibly volunteered, a task that was once voluntary has now been ordered to you. So I'm ordering you to do it. Okay, voluntold. I got it. Then I love the example. You slack. Like it gets some. So basically, if you don't volunteer for it, you're a slack, and then you get voluntold.
Sometimes it be like that. Well, you know what I find?
So are you a slack when your sorors are telling you or voluntolding you to do something?
If I have work to do and that's why I didn't volunteer to do it in the first place.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying that makes me a slack behind, but I'm just saying I have different priorities than they have.
In their point of view, you might be a slack.
Different priorities. Because I'm sure some of our employees would say that when we ask them to do things, that it's beyond volunteering, that we're demanding of it. I can think of one.
Oh, that might not be a good example because
nope,
wait a minute, because if you're at work, are you really volunteering for something? Because you do get a check for it, don't you?
And that's one of the definitions of commerce, right? Exchanging money for time.
Right. So if you're at work, I don't know if voluntold comes up in the workplace, because if you're working and I'm like, here's an assignment, do it.
But some people's perception is their reality.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And for you folks who can't keep a job for long, I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I just want to let you know, if you're a boss instructs you to do something, they're probably not asking you to volunteer. So you probably want to do it if you want to keep your job. It's not a threat. I'm just saying real talk. We recently had a team member here. Well, I instructed her to do something.
Oh, boy.
And she smiled, tilted her head, and nicely said to me, almost put up the church finger too.
Oh, boy.
Nicely said to me, I'm going to opt out of that assignment. Real talk, right?
I'm just going to go into the next
room.
room.
We can keep it 100 here at Commerce and Chill. That's not a good look. That's really not a good look. That's right up there with somebody telling your boss, you don't pay me enough to do that. Like,
I mean, it depends on what you're asking them to do. Because, like, I might tell somebody, like, I probably would not tell somebody you're not paying me enough. But I would just, in my head, I might thinking, like, are they, like, actually, no, I take that back. Like, I don't think I've ever had any job where somebody asked me to do something, and I had the audacity in my head to be like, this mofo don't pay me enough to do that.
Especially if it's under the purview of your job description.
Well, not even that, because, like, I'm there to try and add some value. And depending where I am in the organization, I should be doing whatever I can to hustle my way up the ladder. Now, if someone is, like, taking advantage of you and, like, they're abusing you, but let's put ego and pride aside. If I'm somewhere, someone's giving me something a dollar amount in exchange for what I'm doing, like, okay, yeah. But if somebody's like, hey, Cope, like, go get some coffee and some donuts, and I'm like, I don't know, the vice president, or I don't know, assistant man, whatever title you want to, have, and somebody's like, yeah, go get the coffee and the donuts. Like, the first thing I want to do is take a step back and think about what I'm asked to do, or what someone just told me to do, or what I'm about to do. How does that add value to what's going on in that current situation? Maybe we're short people that day, and someone's like, hey, Cope, like, can you go grab the stuff from Dunkin' Donuts because we got this presentation today, blah, blah, blah. They probably wouldn't even have to ask me, because I'd have been like, yo, did we get the stuff for them yet? Okay, I'm going over there right now to get it. So let me get off, yeah. So, yeah, what were you saying? Sorry.
So, wait, if I can just kind of paraphrase what you just said, right? If you're in tune with what's going on in your organization and in tune what's going on with management, you're paying attention to the cues so you can identify what needs to be done.
Right, so you don't have to get told or volunteer, because you're already doing it, because you're like, yo, we got to do X because this is being done for Y, and we need to make sure the checklist is done. So if I'm on my game, I'm checking off shit. Oh, sorry, I can't say that. I'm checking off stuff before the thing even happens. So I'm like, oh, we got a presentation tomorrow. I should be here the night before or the day before, the afternoon. I'm not going to say the night because, whatever. So you got to go home, work-life balance, integration, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, okay, before I leave at 5, 6, whatever your routine is, 9 to 5, 8 to 4, 10 to 6, whatever, I'm going to be like, oh, let me check the checklist off so everything is in place. So when I roll in tomorrow morning before the presentation, everything is in order. So, like, if I'm in tune with them already on it, there's no, like, oh, so-and-so, can you go get the coffee? I'm walking in the door in the morning with it, coffee. What else we need to do? We ready? Let's go.
How about coffee, donuts? We ready?
Or, coffee, muffins. How about tea? I prefer tea.
I rock with tea.
I prefer the tea. Not chamomile, though. Makes me sleepy.
It's supposed to make you sleepy. No caffeine.
Yeah, I don't want to be sleepy, though.
Caffeine's not good for you.
Yeah, but, like, I'm on a natural high, so I don't want chamomile to make me sleepy.
Okay.
Good. So, voluntold, volunteer. Be in tune with what's going on at your job. What? What's next?
Handle your business. But some of us get more practice in being voluntold at home.
Oh, yeah, it's about to get a little dicey here.
No.
Okay.
Think about your parents. You might be like, I'm grown. I still get voluntold by my parents.
But they'd be like, oh, like, my mom should be herbing me all the time about her iMac. The email, I think something about it is not working. I'm like, okay, I'll come by and check it. Then when you go by, she's like, oh, I think I need a new computer. So I'm going to voluntold you to go buy me a new one. And I'm just like, what? She's like, it doesn't work. I think you should just get me a new one. Wait a minute. Did you just slip in a conversation? I should get you a new computer. She's like, it's just not, you click here. It's kind of slow. I'm like, damn, what do you do with this thing? You just check email. But somehow the conversation led to me getting her a new computer. Well, actually, us getting her a new computer. It's like half on that. Yeah, like, she's going to get it. Like, I don't know. But I'm just like, yeah, I do get voluntold by my parents when I think about it. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So depending on what kind of household you come from, you might be very familiar with being voluntold.
I got to buy a new computer. Yeah. Oh, my chair, sorry. These new mics are so sensitive. We're getting all fancy here. Like before we had one mic, now we've got two. We got these little wind screens on them. Like I don't know what to do with myself here. Like we're really like, I feel like we're like, we're getting fancy here. It's a good thing though.
Let's not get fancy. Let's just get it right.
Yeah, well, I guess that falls under Voluntold.
But we sometimes get voluntold by clients.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like there's a story there.
There's no story. I'm just like, yeah, I hear it, but
Give me an example of one time you got voluntold by a client.
I didn't really get voluntold. I just like, I'm on the fence about that because sometimes, people, clients or customers, it's just people in general. Sometimes they really don't know what they need until you tell them what they need. So sometimes they tell you they're trying to voluntold you what they really want. I don't even know if it's voluntold because they're paying for the service, so they don't have to volunteer. They be like, yo, I want X, and I look at the scope of work. Does it include that? And you don't got to voluntold me nothing. It's like, yo, Cope, I want X, but like you got it, you pay for it. Like first of all, the client shouldn't even have to be asking me that. Let's rewind it back to what we talked about earlier. If we're performing services for any one of our clients, whether it's at Johnson Security or it's at the Soapbox, and somebody checks the box and says, I want extra fabric softener. Do they need to tell me or tell me anything? They check the box, and in our agreement, it says I'm supposed to do X and put extra fabric softener. I don't need you to tell me anything because you asked for that. I need to be communicating to you in one form or another that I delivered on what you asked for. So really, I should be over-delivering, or our presentation should be in some manner when the client sees it, just not the receipt that says extra softener, but when they open the bag and it's like the aroma of grass, dandelion fields, and they're like, oh, it smells so fresh. It smells like, what do they say? Sunshine. What does sunshine smell like? I have no freaking clue.
It smells like that stuff in the bag.
Yeah, whatever. Right. So if they say it's that, I've delivered. Like they don't have to tell me or voluntold me. But
there are sometimes with clients or customers where there may not be a clear delineation of what the expectation is.
That's shame on the person who's delivering the service or product for the client. Because in the beginning, you should set clear expectations. You should set clear expectations. It's that simple. They're going to kill me like I'm screwing up the sound, guys. Sorry. Mm-hmm. You should have clear expectations from the beginning. It's like business or in a marriage or in a relationship. If you don't set clear expectations from the beginning, what?
I'm listening.
What's all that?
I'm waiting for you to finish.
If you don't set clear expectations in the beginning, then it's both parties' fault because the person delivering the product, service, or affection or whatever it might be, they weren't clear on what this person or this entity likes. So I'm gonna make sure I deliver this. They just was like, oh yeah, this sounds good. Let's do this. Yay. And then later on, there's bumps in the road.
Well, I'm going to press the pause button on that thought for a moment because what I've noticed of late is that people do not clearly communicate like their choice of words, their choice of language, how they describe what they want isn't necessarily always clear.
Yeah, because maybe one party is using the Webster's dictionary and the other party is using the Urban Dictionary. So there becomes something gets lost in translation there.
But I often do check back questions or deep dive questions to really understand what people are saying. So, for example, say that we're working with a construction company and they've asked us to give them a quote on a project. Okay. And they'll just say, what's your rate for guards? What's my rate for guards for what? Is it like, what are they doing? Site? Right. Is it an outdoor site? Is it an interior? Is it exterior? Are you going to want patrols? Do you want fire watch?
Do they have to do, reports and documentation?
Do I have to provide their own guard booth? Are you going to provide adequate shelter with heat and electricity that works?
And a restroom facility, please.
And restroom facility, please, because some people don't use porta potties at home, so why would they use porta potties at work?
Exactly.
But then who has porta potties at home instead of working plumbing? But that's a whole nother story.
I don't know. That might be a new trend coming up soon.
And so then I'll say, okay, let's ask some questions. And I don't know, just a guard. Just give me a price for a guard.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you a price that includes everything. So the price might be high to what you're expecting because you didn't communicate. What I said in the beginning, each party communicates clearly what they want and need.
Yes, but if you ask people questions and and they haven't thought through on their own what that looks like, then they can't describe it to you.
Then I guess
or
it's not a good
if they're
fit.
the middle person, like if they're the middleman or middle one, and they're just trying to collect information rather than process information, they may not be able to give you that information back. So it's very frustrating. So I will go do a proposal, put the quote together, and we'll put all of the assumptions,
Right.
or credentials or requirements that we use in building the cost, and to be like, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. Like, yeah, but you didn't give me anything to work with, so I'm gonna give you what I'm working with.
Right. But and it goes back to what you said. It's the communication. So if the person's not communicating what they want, then the party who supplies the information, listen, this is what you're getting. This is the total, and then you, like we do, you do an itemized breakdown so they understand where each expense is. Then they can come back to you and say, you know what, hey, like I like overall what I see, but can we take out the part where you provide the booth? Let's minus that out because we already have a trailer, or they consider the front desk in the lobby. Okay, fine, that takes that dollar amount off. Oh, well, you know what? I don't need them to walk around the building. Across the street, only do this building. Okay, so we'll take that out, and that line item comes out. So it's all about communicating on both sides.
Well, I just thought about a situation with you.
What is it?
You're looking to hire some new people.
Always, every day,
You put very specific language in the job description and the job posting.
all the time.
Didn't we make a bet previously that we were gonna put some language in the job description that if people really took the time to read the full job description, that they would get the job?
Most people don't read it. I hate to say it. Like, listen, there's an ad up right now on one of the job boards, and it has the title of the job. It has all the duties, responsibilities, whatever you want to call it, description. And at the very end, I put, to apply for this job, click on this link. You know how many people have responded to the job ad just by emailing me their resume? Do you think at any point in time I want to sit here on my phone or my computer and read someone's resume? First of all, half the time I can't see good for squat. And I'm going to be reading your resume.
Glasses, Alice, get glasses.
I have them. They're on my eyes. They're called contacts, right? And I still, like, whatever. But you think I want to read your resume on this screen? And I'm not getting the people, oh, get a bigger phone, get an iPhone Plus. I'm not carrying that big thing. Respect to everybody else who has a big one. Like, whatever. What's so funny?
Espinosa.
He's over there cracking up. Why? Because you have a big one and I have a small one? This is commerce and chill, not that stuff you look at on your computer when you're supposed to be working. But anyway, like, the instructions say email me. Click on the link. Why? Because when you click on the link, there's an online application that you fill out, and then it goes straight to our ATS, which alerts me.
What is the ATS?
Look it up in the Urban Dictionary. No, it's going to have something else for ATS in the Urban Dictionary. The Applicant Tracking System. Sorry for those of you. I shouldn't be dropping acronyms without telling you what it is. Shame on me. So it goes to the ATS, and then it puts the data in the proper format so it's easy for us to go through and manipulate and follow up with the candidates. So yeah, they don't read. It's slightly frustrating, but more so, it's a little disheartening because then I'm concerned where, wow, if you didn't read the job ad, and I put the link at the bottom purposely because I want them to read through all the things that are required. And this is not for like some super junior intern position. This is for a senior management position where you will be working, the person will be working with us closely, like hand in hand. So if you didn't read through it and at the very bottom it says, click here to apply. And you just hit reply all and then attach your resume. And then let's be clear, half the time when they hit reply all and submit a resume, that it's just reply all resume. There's nothing written in the body of the email. It's just blank. So I get a blank email with a resume attached to it, with a Word document or a link to a Google Drive. How I know this is not somebody trying to drop a virus in my thing?
Job search pointer. If you're trying to really get that job, put some language, some
We're talking
verbiage.
about Voluntold. Now I'm all amped up about people not following instructions.
But make sure, follow instructions. But if you submit your application, submit your resume or submit an application, make sure that you put some customized text to show the person that's hiring that you really want that job, that you understand.
Don't send an email if they say click on the link. Don't send the email. Click on the link. Listen, everybody. Listen. Zoom in on me. Get this. Read everything thoroughly. I know you don't read the terms and service agreements when you sign up for a new app or something. Nobody reads those, but you should. And when you're applying for a job, read the whole job ad from top to bottom. Don't skim it. Don't assume. Just don't click apply and fill it out. Read it, because you don't know if they've got some language in there somewhere that says, if you do X, you qualify for this position. That's what I'm going to start doing next. You said it. I'm going to start putting up the ad, and it just says, if you email me back and write the word blue in all capital letters, you will be hired. Whoever, I'm giving them the job right away. The next person we hire for the content team, I swear I'm going to do that in the ad. I'm going to put some little quirky thing in it, and I'm going to make the text. I'm going to write this ad that's going to be mad long, like 8 paragraphs. And somewhere I'm going to bury in there, if you email me back at this email and write this word or whatever, something out of the norm, you get the job. Off the cuff. It's done. Somebody write that down so I don't forget it. What were you going to say? Sorry. I totally zoned out there.
That's okay.
It's like, it's slightly frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah. Welcome,
because those are the
welcome
people,
to being in business.
Those are the people when you hire them and they end up starting and you go through, say, okay, these are the job descriptions that you applied for.
They don't read it.
They don't read it.
That's why people get voluntold for stuff. Because when it's time to volunteer, they don't read it, and then you be like, you know what? I'm telling you to do it. No, I'm not volunteer. You're voluntold. No, I'm not even, I'm telling you. And then where does that happen? Everything goes down the hill. What?
I opt out.
Oh, whatever. I'm not touching that. But then it goes down, because if you have to voluntold someone, well, I shouldn't say that's a bad thing. It could be like a good thing too. But yeah, so voluntold. I think that's I guess my perspective on being voluntold. You shouldn't have to be told. Like if you're somewhere and I don't know. If we're talking about the work environment, so if there's some opportunity for volunteering there, I'm going to say, listen, step up. Do it. You don't need to be voluntold. There's an opportunity to volunteer for these 3 things at the company picnic. Listen, be the person who goes get the Franks, or go picks up the buns, or the person who picks up the condiments. Just do it. Just do it. And if you don't want to do it, more than likely you're probably working somewhere you shouldn't be anyway, because you don't love it. So bounce. Go get a job somewhere else. Create a job. You know, there's this thing called the internet now. Like, you can make money on the internet by doing absolutely stuff at home in your underwears. You don't even have to get dressed. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. I just don't want to think about the people on the other side of the camera in their underwear.
I'm just saying, like, there's no reason in this.
Put on shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah, whatever. Like
sweats, yoga
pants. Listen. Oh man, you started it. Now it's like, this is about y'all gonna have to change the rating on this podcast as well as on the YouTube channel from all audiences or the general audience to explicit. Listen, I'll give you a great example. It was some person who was like a business developer or a business guru, and they sell these programs where they help you multiply your streams of income. This is all for Espinoza. Man, he loves this get rich stuff on the internet, right? He loves it like he buys them and does it, but we always have these conversations about him all the time, and just like, why? Like, you know, why do people keep buying them? Why do they keep doing it? And that's a whole nother conversation. But she has this thing, program, mastermind, I don't know what it's called, but you sign up and like she coaches you and all this. And some of them are in person, like, I don't know, like 4 times a year, like quarterly or whatever it is. And you grinning because you know exactly what I'm talking about. And she did one, like they do these webinars too, and you sign up and some of them are free and some of them you pay for. And she rolls up on the webinar and she's got like rollers in her hair or something, and like the bonnets that women wear when they go to sleep at night.
You can get personalized bonnets. I know I can hook you up. Holla at your girl. I know we can get them in Jamaica, Queens.
I hate those things. Anyway. She had the bonnet on and looked like she like, I don't know, she just rolled out of bed, whatever. But I happened to glance at the screen because somebody was looking at it. And then I was just like, what is this lady doing? Like, and she was like doing a webinar with the bonnet and rolls in hair. And she was just like, look, I'm making money at home and I'm still in my pajamas and blah, blah, blah. You could do it too. Like, I hear what she's saying, but let me tell you, if I would have paid her money for her to do this webinar, I would have felt some kind of ways if I was on the other side of that. Because I'd have been like, wait a minute. This woman is on the web talking to me and God knows how many other people. I could have been like, you could be the only one on there if you're paying for it. Or it could be a couple hundred, a couple thousand. Who knows? Like, who knows how big the following is? But I would be like, so this person is on here giving me advice on how to go into business or how to grow my business, and they've got rollers in their hair and a bonnet, and they're in their pajamas. I gave you my hard-earned money, and you didn't even have the decency to roll out of bed, pull the curlers out, take the bonnet off, and at least put on some kind of shirt. You didn't have to put nothing on down below because all you could see was from the chest up. At least put a shirt on and look somewhat presentable. But you know what? Presentable is relative, because when you tell somebody to come to an interview or to meet with you and you say dress professional, what they wear, a pair of fresh J's, some jeans that are slim fit with a crease in it, and a button-down shirt halfway tucked in, might be professional to them. Where somebody else will show up in a complete suit. So it's all relative. But I would be insulted if that was me. And not insulted where, listen, that's their thing, respect it. But I would be like, if they're on the other line telling me they're in their pajamas making money, and I'm giving them my money, why the hell am I giving them my money when I could be doing this? What's that saying? I could do bad all by myself? I'm not saying she's doing bad or what she's doing is bad, but it just makes me think, like there's a certain level of...
You didn't feel like she valued the time or the money of the
hell
person on
yeah.
the other side.
Like, what's the most important thing that anybody gives in this world? All of us sitting in this room right now, all of our viewers out there who watch us, we greatly appreciate it. It's your time. The one asset you can never get back is your time. So if you're delivering this to me and I'm paying you for it, like I feel like I got poo-poo. I would feel like I got poo-pooed on, like by a big pterodactyl flying over my head, not pigeon poo-pooing on me, a pterodactyl, because I'm paying for it and I'm giving you my time.
Well, we have lots of pigeons here in New York because, there's a lot of work for us to do in the community, not just at work, not just in our businesses. Yep. So because of our success in business and the value that we bring because of our relationship. We need to get like
sound effects going on in the background, like on the side. Because
there are a lot of community-based organizations that are coming to us, asking us for our assistance, be it our time, our money, our resources. And because we stay so busy, we don't always have the time to volunteer to help those people or those organizations.
So you get voluntold.
Do get voluntold.
Yeah, like but see where people get it twisted with the and I wouldn't say twisted, but people need to think about it. Because and it goes back to what we just talking about with the bonnet and the time and the money. You want to give your time, you want to help. It's two things you got. Let's be clear. When you want to help, there's one or two things you can do. You give your time or you give money. In some cases, you give both. But depending how much of each resource you have, you can afford to give one or more of the other, right? So if you, Jeff Bezos rich, you can be like, listen, I don't have a lot of time, but I can write a fat check to your donation, to your organization to help you out. I'm going to donate this money, right? But then on this other side, like, listen, I don't have Jeff Bezos money, but you know what? I only work 32 hours a week. Because of, whatever I do, and that affords me the lifestyle that I like and I'm comfortable doing it. But I have the weekends and I have another 8 hours on this day during the week that I can give to your cause or to your institution where I can come in and help, like, pack bags or hand out food or, help you make phone calls to people who could potentially be donors. So it's either time or money that you can give to help. So these different organizations, when they're asking people to volunteer their time or to give money, but we're going to stick with the time thing because we're talking about voluntold here today. We should also make sure when we're involved in these organizations, we're asking people to volunteer or we're voluntolding them, that what they're going to be participating in is a return on their investment. So if I'm giving you my time, that organization should grow. Right? I volunteer my time, different organizations, community boards, different non-for-profits. And some of them, I would donate my time because that's all you're doing, donating, because I wasn't getting paid for being on the board of that non-for-profit. And the organization grew. So my return on investment was I gave them time and the organization grew and the mission of the organization got furthered, which was awesome. So then I walked away gratified because I gave them my time and this is what the result. But then there's other times where you might donate your time or money, and then the organization, it takes that time, but nothing prospers from it. And
Cut that off.
I'm sure you can speak to that when we have those debates about some of these non-for-profits you work with, and you go, and I'm like, okay, so what happened? You come back and be like, yeah, we had a 4 or 5 hour meeting and blah 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 blah, and I'm just like, you had a 5 hour meeting? Like what that 5 hours?
Well, sometimes what it is, you know, you can give money, you can give time, but we've been fortunate enough to be able to give the gift of ideas and the gift
That's
of
another one.
relationships. And so
Ideas is still time.
when you're generous with sharing those things, you don't necessarily have to be voluntold. You can volunteer willingly. But I love it because we get to work with some great community-based organizations, as well as a couple of political appointments, where we're definitely making an impact in the things that we do. So know that your volunteerism,
Volunteerism.
that's a real word, it's in Webster's, as well as the time that you commit to community in different organizations can tie into what you do in business and can help you make an impact where you live, where you work, and touch many people that you might not otherwise touch. So shout out to all the different organizations with which we participate and to whom we contribute, like the Sylvia Center, the Bronx Private Industry Council,
excellent.
the Fellas Scholarship, what else? New York State Workforce Investment Board, New York State Security Guard Advisory Council. Where else do we spend our time? And our ideas.
Clearly, you're racking them out there, and I'm over here drawing a blank. So
we recently attended the gala for the National Cares Movement Foundation.
Yep, which was nice.
So get your mentoring on. So step up.
And sometimes it's not an organization. It could just be like, Johnny down the block. Like you're spending some time with him, like throwing the football around, or helping him do his homework. Like it doesn't have to be some super big organization or some formal entity. It could just be like you in a community, like in the park, kicking it with the people in the neighborhood, like, or just, giving back. Or you have a business and you go somewhere and you donate your time, or you take your team members and all your employees and you go there and you hand out food, or you go to bingo night and spend some time with the seniors and everybody who comes to bingo night, and just like add some spice to it and somebody for them to have a conversation with, or go to a nursing home and just hang out with them. It's like, hey, what's up? Like, it's the little things, but volunteer.
So in closing, know that you don't have to do a lot to make a big impact. You can start with small and then have an incremental impact. You can do it in business, you can do it in the community, but if you take the time to assess what's happening, see where you can bring value, then you can be proactive about bringing that value, and you don't have to be voluntold, whether it's in the workplace, with your family, or in community organizations. What do you have to add?
Just listen. If you see it coming, do it. So no one even has to ask for volunteers, and then you don't have to be voluntold. Just do it.
What we'd like you to do is to volunteer to leave comments. Click
click on the subscribe button and leave the comments below. Like, let us know what you think. Good, bad, indifferent. Tell us. We're here. We want to know. And listen, we greatly appreciate your time.
So on that note, sounds like we're getting a call to rise up out of here. Thanks for visiting with us at Commerce and Chill. I'm Jessica Johnson-Cope.
I'm Waleed Cope.
And we hope to see you back here soon.
Commerce and Chill, take one.